Hey guys, Lisa Callaghy here to share with you a video on how to determine who, meaning students, has not taken the diagnostic test. So at this point in the school year, this is the kind of middle of November, you're going to see that students have taken, most students have taken the diagnostic test. But once we reach January and our second testing window starts, you probably want to see who hasn't taken the test as the days roll on. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so as an admin from your administrator dashboard, you're going to come to where it says, do students have learning paths? Now, why are we going here? Because when a student has completed the diagnostic test, a learning path is automatically created for them. So if a student does not have a learning path, that means the student has not completed the diagnostic test. All right, so we can do this by, we have to look at this by subject area. So let's take math, for example. And again, we are well into our first testing window, so most of the students have taken the test, but like I said, you will be able to identify the students who have not. So I clicked on math, and notice that I can also toggle between my different subject areas here. Now, we're only doing math and reading when it comes to the diagnostic assessment. So clicking on math, I can see as a school how many students I have and how many, the percentage of students where a learning path was not generated. So 96% of my students have taken or have finished the diagnostic test because 96% of my students have a learning path, and there's 4% that haven't, right? 94% of my students have started working on their learning path. 2% have not started. What that means is 2% of the student population have taken and completed the diagnostic test, but have not started working on their learning path. Okay? Again, we can switch to reading to get information on that subject area. And then once you have that information, you can toggle down now into grade level. So clicking on the school name, I am in reading. I can look by grade level. So you see there is a student for some reason that is falling into kindergarten. So that student obviously does not have a learning path and has not taken the diagnostic test because this is not for kindergarten students. We have to investigate why that student here, and that looks like it's a practice test, practice class. So we don't have to, we could, we could ignore that. So let me go back. Let me go back to see our grade levels. Okay, so here's where we're able to see the amount of students. So we have 124 students, and 15% of our students do not have their learning path generated. That means that there's 15% of students that have not taken the diagnostic test, right? 85% of first grade students have, 81% of them have started, and 5% of those students have not started their their learning path, okay? 85% of students have a learning path generated, meaning 85% of these first grade students have completed their diagnostic test. Okay, so you can look at that per grade level. We can even dig deeper by clicking on the grade level and taking a look and seeing what's happening. So for our first, this is reading, and this is first grade. So these students are not there's no departmentalization. So the same students that are in this math course are the same students that are in the language arts course for this section. So I only need to look at one section here because it's the same students. So English Language Arts for this class, there are 17 students, right? And there are 0% of students that have not had their learning path generated. That means that all 17 students have completed their diagnostic test. So now, if we scroll down, if we're looking to see who has not either started or completed their diagnostic test, here's where you're going to find it. So 2 students in this class, right? Of this class, 108, there are 19 students. Only 63% of those students have not either taken or completed the diagnostic test. Here, all of these students have not taken the diagnostic test. All of these students have not taken the diagnostic test of this group. So actually, I don't need to go any further than here because it's repeating. It's the same. So this group here, you can see 1, 2, 3. These 3 classes have students that have not completed the diagnostic test. And if you want to see who those students are, just click on the class name and it will tell you the students and their diagnostic test status. Okay? So tabbing back over, you can do the same thing with math and get the information here. The not generated means students whose learning paths have not been generated, which correlates to the fact that the diagnostic test has not been completed or has not been started. Okay, so here's where you're able to find those students. Clicking on the class name, it will show you those student names, either the students that have not been generated and generated. Okay, so this has been a video on how to determine which students have not either started or completed the diagnostic test. All right, guys, I hope this video helped. Have a great day.